Good evening, and good morning and good afternoon to those who are tuning in from around the world. It is my pleasure to welcome you to the official celebration of Dr. Charla Griffy-Brown, the new Director General and Dean of Thunderbird School of Global Management at Arizona State University. My name is Lena Booth, a finance professor and also currently serving as the Deputy Dean of Thunderbird Academic Enterprise. I would like to thank our esteemed guests tonight, both here in person and also viewing online from around the world. As we acknowledge our global community, we also respect and honor the indigenous communities and the lands that host our global headquarters. I would like to invite Mr. Jacob Moore, Vice President and Special Advisor to the President for American Indian Affairs at ASU, to lead us in acknowledging that ancestral history.
Skukhodinyak, Anya Jacob Moore, Sapantag Amnye. It's good to see you all this evening. My name is Jacob Moore, as mentioned, Vice President and Special Advisor to President Crow on American Indian Affairs. It's good to see you all. Arizona State University Arizona University's campuses sit on the homelands of many indigenous peoples that have inhabited this place for centuries, including the Akamid O'odham and the Pipash, in English known as the Pima and the Maricopa. There are 22 tribal nations in the state of Arizona, and we acknowledge the sacred lands that continue to sustain us and honor the descendants of the original caretakers. Skigig is the O'odham word that is now called Phoenix. Centuries before, the ancestors of the O'odham, the Huakam, created complex canal systems and utilized the perennial rivers to create a thriving civilization that lasted over 700 years. This ancient system laid down the framework for the contemporary canal system that feeds Skikik today. While the riverbed may be dry, the sacred waters continue to flow through the valley and are critical to the vitality of the greater metropolitan Phoenix area. Many people are unaware of this early Huakam history and the remarkable complex engineering, astronomy, commerce, and agricultural practices and knowledges that our ancestors possessed hundreds of years ago in this same valley. ASU seeks to embrace our place, connect with tribal communities, and enable the success of every Native student. ASU's 4,000 American Indian students continue to thrive, navigate in two worlds, pursue scholarly work, and advocate for the maintenance and the strengthening of indigenous lifeways in a modern world. As the O'odham call it, Himatag, the way of life, this encompasses traditional culture, identity, and ways of knowing and being. As O'odham, our identity are intrinsically connected to the Sonoran Desert land and the ocean. Like our own bodies, we must respect it and care for it, and we urge others to do the same. We challenge you to educate yourself about this place, and develop a better understanding of the thriving tribal nations and communities that continue to inhabit their homelands today. Sapo, thank you.
Thank you, Vice President Moore. It is with immense pride and a deep sense of history that I stand before you here today. As someone who has had the privilege to be part of Thunderbird for the past 29 years, I've witnessed firsthand the incredible evolution of this institution. When I first joined Thunderbird, it was already a place with a storied legacy, a beacon of global leadership and innovation. Over the years, I've seen us going through peaks and troughs, enjoying success in the glory days, struggling in the periods of trouble, but ultimately emerged stronger than ever, especially after joining ASU. With the strong support of ASU, we embrace new challenges, push the boundaries of what is possible, and adapt to the ever-changing landscape of global leadership and management education. We always navigated through periods of immense change with a steadfast commitment to our mission, a mission of developing global leaders who are ready to meet the complexities of today's world, who are ready to help create sustainable prosperity worldwide. As Thunderbird has evolved, so too have we, as educators, as leaders, and as a global family. We have expanded our reach, deepened our impact, and continually sought to elevate the standard of excellence that defines this school. Today, we stand on the threshold of a new era, one that promises even greater innovation, inclusion, and influence on the global stage. I've had the privilege to work with Dr. Griffy-Brown in the past year when she served as the Vice Dean. I'm confident that with her at the helm, Thunderbird will continue to build on its rich heritage while boldly charting new paths forward. Her leadership embodies the spirit of Thunderbird, fearless, forward-thinking, and deeply committed to the development of global leaders who will make a positive impact in the world. Tonight, we have a wonderful event planned for us as we celebrate this significant milestone in the history of Thunderbird. So, without further ado, it is my honor to introduce you a leader whose dedication to academic excellence and inclusivity has profoundly changed the future of ASU. She has been a guiding force in ensuring that we remain at the forefront of innovation and education, fostering a learning environment where students from all backgrounds could thrive. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcome to the podium Arizona State University's Executive Vice President and University Provost, Dr. Nancy Gonzales.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. It is a pleasure and a privilege to be here with you tonight. The pleasure is being here with you in the community of T-Birds, one of the most diverse, talented, passionate, and generous groups of faculty, staff, students, and alumni that we have at ASU. The privilege is being here to represent the entire academic community at ASU to honor Thunderbird's new Director General and Dean, Dr. Charla Griffy-Brown. Dr. Griffy-Brown embodies everything that we need in the Dean for the next phase of Thunderbird's evolution. She is smart, she is driven, she is a force of positivity and open collaboration. Charla also brings a wealth of experience, breadth of knowledge, and vision for the future. In very short order, she has worked with Thunderbird's many internal and external stakeholders, particularly Thunderbirds and alumni from all over the world, to continue Thunderbird's positive trajectory and elevate it to new heights. Friends, colleagues, alumni, and students, in the past nearly 10 years, and to put it mildly, the world has been through a lot. Think back to where things were 10 years ago and what was happening in the world. In 2014, Narendra Modi was elected Prime Minister of India, a position he still holds to this day. Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 disappeared. Pro-democracy protests spread across Hong Kong. And who can forget, though we might want to forget, the dance craze Gangnam Style. which reached billions of views on YouTube in 2014, setting records that still rank high even today. But more seriously, over the past decade, there have been so many world-altering events that we all know so well and have lived through together. In so many ways, the world is not the same as it was just a decade ago. Change continues to accelerate. Similarly, the Thunderbird community experienced a great deal of transition over the past 10 years, one that ultimately included leaving its historic campus and taking a leap of faith by moving downtown into this now fabulous F. Francis and Dion Najafi Thunderbird Global Headquarters. Over the course of this past decade, Thunderbird has thrived. It has returned to its #1 place in global management rankings. Its enrollment is back and growing. We just announced today that we will be moving our undergraduate Thunderbirds to the downtown campus, further growing that population. The school is better integrated than ever into the wider ASU community of colleges and schools, and through that integration, really part of some amazing research and educational opportunities that the school is advancing. As we look to the future, I am confident that Thunderbird will become stronger than ever. There is much to do, and Charla Griffy-Brown is the right person to do it. She knows Thunderbird. She is a model leader at ASU, and she understands the complexities and challenges facing our globe. And she knows how to train the next generation of leaders who will help us navigate it. Charla's background includes significant contributions to both academia and industry. She is an accomplished, collaborative, multidisciplinary leader with 25 years of dedicated experience working with executive boards and leading-edge technology companies. Her cross-sectoral leadership engaging government, academia, and industry reflects her commitment to interdisciplinary collaboration and her ability to drive educational excellence that aligns with the demands of the Fourth Industrial Revolution. And most importantly, Charla has earned the trust of all who work with her. She's a kind and considerate leader whose warmth is infectious. But don't mistake that warmth for softness. She is strategic, she is sensible, and she gets stuff done in a way that allows everyone to share in the success. I have complete confidence in what your new Director General and Dean will do for Thunderbird, and I will support her in every way that I can. Because now, 10 years on, I believe more than ever in what the promise was when ASU and Thunderbird first came together. Two academic powerhouses, united, pushing each other forward and bringing out the best in each institution. That takes a little time and a lot of care. And it takes leaders like Thunderbird's new Dean and Director General, Dr. Charla Griffy-Brown. Charla, thanks for leading us into the future, and congratulations.
Thank you very much, Provost Gonzales. It is now my great privilege to introduce a visionary leader whose transformative approach to higher education has redefined the roles of universities in the 21st century. Under his leadership, ASU has consistently been ranked the most innovative university in the United States. His commitment to breaking down barriers and expanding access to education has made ASU an opportunity and a catalyst for change. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming the President of Arizona State University, Dr. Michael Crow.
Thank you. When you think about a school like Thunderbird, you've got to think about history in a way in which you realize where you are in time and space. It's a baby. It's a toddler. It's a new creation, even with its 75 years, give or take. Meaning it is, in fact, a new construct built out of thousands of years of inability to find ways to bring humans together, thousands of years in which the sword has been the principal means by which people have advanced their economies, thousands of years in which warfare and combat were the mechanism by which economic gains were consolidated and advanced on the part of empires or wannabe empires or kingdoms or wannabe kingdoms. 2,000 years ago, give or take, 2,050 years ago, my philosophical friend from the past that I began studying in high school, Cicero, was assassinated. He was beheaded. Both of his hands were cut off, and he was on the list of people to be executed because he was resisting the notion of the transformation of Rome from a republic, a fledgling republic even in which, and I'll come back to this, 25% of its residents, 25% of the people living in the Roman structure at the time were slaves, captured in economic gain among the legions of Rome, attacking, taking over place after place after place. And as they were struggling to advance the concept of republic with a Senate, with an elected two leaders that were elected every year to be their actual leaders, as all of these things were happening, that wasn't good enough for some. Caesar came along, decided to take the place over and appoint himself emperor. He was assassinated by senators. Dozens and dozens and dozens of senators, dozens and dozens, hundreds of leaders were then executed so that the end of the Roman Republic could move us into the future in what was called the Roman Empire. That Roman Empire, with its slavery, with its mechanisms for doing deals, at the end of the sword, at the end of the centurion leading the Roman legion, make no mistake about it, and I'm going to build up to how this school was formed and why it was formed, that became the logic for Europe. The wars in Europe from the time that the Roman Empire began being initiated in the last part of the 1st century BC and the first part of the 1st century AD, and the roughly 1918 years until the open, or 14 years until the opening of World War I, millions and millions and millions of people died in Europe over economic conflicts, over religious conflicts, but principally over economic conflicts, or of an inability to find ways in which they could come together, an inability to cooperate. One of the reasons for the obsession with those that want the European Union to work is what was Europe like before that? Not a place that any of us would want in the present world. 110 years ago, the Kaiser of Germany, driven by a number of events that occurred, decided to attack a number of oppositional forces, which led to a war in which literally millions of soldiers died. Millions. Over 1 million in France alone. 1 million from Germany. Millions and millions of people in a 4-year war. After that war, people said, this can't be. The President of the United States brought himself to a stroke, Woodrow Wilson, attempting to build a new kind of institution. No one had built a global institution before. The League of Nations was considered. The League of Nations was defeated in the Senate of the United States. It did not advance. The world entered into a period of time after World War I. I'm still concentrating on Europe and now expanding into Asia, where all of the issues about how do we come together, how do we trade, how do we do something other than at the end of the sword. And we spent the next 20 years leading ourselves into the most calamitous existence of human beings up to this date, World War II. Nuclear weapons were used. Tens of millions of people died. 80 million by some counts, 100 million by some counts. Genocide, all within the lifetime of many of your parents, within the lifetime of certainly all of your grandparents. This institution was derivative of the outcome of that war. This institution was an idea that some people who had been in that war, who had experienced that war, thought that the world needed a new way to think about global management. Now, it's hard to imagine 80 million dead, entire cities, entire regions of the world destroyed, 2 Japanese cities nuked, 20,000 Dutch civilians murdered in the Indo-Pacific region. None of us have ever known or experienced anything like that. And coming out of that came an immense desire for new kinds of institutions. Now, I'll tell you, all the great business schools already existed before the start of World War II. All the universities existed. All the institutions that we think of as institutions for higher education existed. So the way that one advances the world is to think about new ways of doing things. We saw the World Bank emerge. We saw the United Nations emerge. We saw the International Monetary Fund emerge. We saw the Thunderbird School of Global Management emerge, and other schools and other programs, all intended to find a way, in this case, can you train people to work together on a global basis, trading rather than fighting, building treaties and alliances rather than killing each other? Can you get the people in Singapore to work with the people in China, to work with the people in Indonesia, to work with the people in Japan? I won't walk through what led to Japan attacking the Americans and the Dutch and the British in World War II, but it was all economic. And it was a lack of understanding, a lack of connection, a lack of skilled individuals, a lack of global management capabilities. And so this institution, Thunderbird, even the name Thunderbird, rising from the ashes, built on a retired military training base here in Arizona, was in every possible way an attempt to not go down the same path. So when Thunderbird began searching for a partner, it was easy for me to say, as the leader of ASU, we need to partner with these folks. We need to find a way for this institution to take its next chapter and to move forward in a new way. We need to find a way to keep the faculty that we have together, to bring in new faculty, to bring in students from around the world, to make these things happen. Because I'm telling you, the last 2,000-year history is modal. It is the way we have been for a very long time. So unless we continue to produce global leaders, this is not a business school. They teach business, but it's not a business school. This is a global management school. How do you bring people together so that they can live in peace, so that they can trade with each other, so their families and their countries can become wealthier, so that people can become improved, so that more people can be healthy, so that more people can read, so that more people can advance. And the way that you do that is by something other than waving magic wands. Magic wands don't work. And that's by building institutions that have a different purpose. And this is one of the post-World War II institutions of immense importance. You're sitting in the modest global headquarters. Thank you to the Najafis for helping us to put this together. You're sitting in the midst of all of this, and now we're designating and anointing and meddling, not the medal with an A, meddling the leader. And Charla is a person that understands what I'm talking about, that understands the nature of this institution, that understands that we need this institution to be adaptive, to be comprehensive. We have the 100 Million Learners project that the Najafi family has invested in. Let's just talk about that for a second. If you can figure out a way to get people entrepreneurially inspired and give them business skills across 20, 30, 40, 50 languages, and you can do that at scale using modern technologies that everybody has access to through smartphones and other kinds of things, you can change the world if you can figure out how to do that. So this school is taking that on. Can you figure out how to put in place more and better and more enhanced and fairer and more representative trade agreements? Could we have economic futures in which the the natural capital of the planet is not destroyed as a function of advancing the economic interests of the humans. All these things are built into what global management and global leadership is all about. So when the Provost identified Charla as the top candidate, I met with her, and that is Charla, and said, this woman can make this happen. This woman can be the leader that we need. This woman can take this toddler institution in this contrarian position. The normal position is, by the way, you sign a treaty with Ukraine, and you sign a treaty with NATO, and then you break it the first chance that you get. And then you attack a democracy before it has a chance to actually come into existence. And you kill as many civilians as you possibly can. That's the old way. That's the old way. And I'm going to be blunt. I was in Russia. I've been to Russia many, many times. I've been all over Russia. I'm just using that as an example. And if they had found a way to build more global leaders and more treaties and more economic abilities to move forward, we wouldn't be in the same boat that we're in right now relative to what's going on between Ukraine and Russia. And so the need has not gone away. The need is in some ways actually accelerated. So my hope is to Charla, and my charge is to Charla and to the rest of the Thunderbird crew, is that we really need to find a way to help this toddler institution to be more impactful, to educate more people from around the world, educate more Americans, to serve as the American exemplar of this type of institution, to find a way in which we can reach millions of other learners out there using advanced technology and actually take on the notion of global success through something other than Roman legions. It doesn't lead to good outcomes. Believe me, it does not lead to good outcomes, and we're just past that, and we're entering into a phase where the role of Thunderbird has never been more important. So congratulations, Charla, on your selection. Looking forward to working with you on all the things that we're doing. Charla knows how to work with our other entities, the Global Futures Laboratory, our new School for the Future of the Oceans, our new School for the Future of Innovation and Society, our School of Sustainability, our School for Complex Adaptive Systems, the largest engineering school in the country, the largest business school in the country, all these things that we've built. And so the embodiment of Thunderbird inside this massive university that's moving at light speed with the fastest innovations and the best innovations that higher education has put together in a single institution gives Thunderbird every opportunity to now really be the leading school for global management on the planet. So, Charlie, you have a significant charge, and looking forward to working with you, and I don't know what happens next.
Thank you so much, President Crow. At this ceremony, we're celebrating the induction of our new leadership. To symbolize this transition, we will have President Crow present the Thunderbird Medallion to Dean Griffy-Brown. The medallion represents more than just the role of leadership. It embodies the rich history, values, and aspirations of Thunderbird. The medallion serves as a reminder of the profound responsibility she undertakes, a responsibility to uphold Thunderbird's legacy of excellence, to inspire future generations of global leaders, and to ensure that this institution continues to thrive in an increasingly complex world.
Now, I will say that only one person at ASU that's a dean gets a medallion. And it goes to our recognition of the uniqueness of Thunderbird, our ability to maintain the Thunderbird image, the Thunderbird brand, the Thunderbird mystique, all of the elements of Thunderbird. And so, Charla, you're like really lucky. So I'm going to give you this. She has another title also, Dean and Director General. So we'll call this everyone designated as Dean and Director General at Arizona State University gets a medallion.
Dr. Griffy-Brown. As you accept this medallion, please know that you have the support and strength of this entire community as you embark on the journey to become a fearless leader.
Wow. Thank you so much. What an incredible evening already. I am so lucky. Thank you, thank you. I also appreciate that everything has been lowered in the Global Forum, and I apologize to those, but it's part of our inclusive excellence that we have people of varying heights, particularly here at Thunderbird. So I want to tell everybody how much I appreciate that. And thank you so much, President Crow and Provost Gonzales, for your kind remarks and your support of Thunderbird. It means so much to us and everyone around the world who's joining us, and our faculty, our staff, our students, and our alumni, our community partners, those who are stepping forward and creating incredible change and transforming our world. I'm so grateful. And it is indeed with profound gratitude and a deep sense of purpose that I stand before you as I take on the mantle of leadership here at the Thunderbird School of Global Management. I am reminded that at this moment, we don't just look forward, we also acknowledge the foundation that has been laid by those who came before at Thunderbird. It's always been an institution that has sought to lead, to innovate, and to inspire. And my path to this moment has been shaped by a diverse array of experiences across continents and industries and sectors. And it has shown me something very important, that indeed talent is everywhere, but opportunity is not. And in fact, as a foster adopt child from Los Angeles County, the odds of going to college, approximately 10%. The odds of going on to Harvard, even less. And it would not have been possible if it were not for the opportunities that were made available to me by my parents who adopted me, by my family, my brother, and certainly through the support of my incredible husband and people along the way who were champions and who created opportunity. And I want to encourage us all as we look around, not just this room, but in our communities, how can we support those around us? How can we support those who need help or who may be that talent that is going to bring more to our table? From my early work at NASA, where I was immersed in the exploration of technology and its potential to transform national strategies, to my engagement across the Asia-Pacific and the European Union, where I witnessed the power of digital transformation on a global scale. These experiences really crystallized for me a vision of what is possible when we connect and equip leaders across borders, across cultures, and across disciplines. We have the opportunity to unlock each individual's potential and to create opportunities for those who do not have them. I believe that this is encapsulated in the incredible charter that ASU has. It's encapsulated also in this powerful legacy that President Crow spoke about, in the very nature or DNA of what Thunderbird is built upon and always has been. Today, as I step into this role, I carry with me these lessons that I've lived at this intersection of technology and society and global enterprises. One thing they have taught me is that sustainable shared prosperity is not an ideal. It is an achievable reality, one that we at Thunderbird, with ASU, with our partners across the world and in this community, are positioned uniquely to bring to life. Thunderbird has always been at the forefront of those who believe in the power of opportunity coupled with the capabilities in global leadership. We are a community that truly understands that equipping leaders to create industries, to create ecosystems, it's not just about business acumen, it's about understanding the nuances of different cultures, the complexities of global markets, and the ethical imperatives that guide responsible leadership. It's about a global mindset. At Thunderbird, as we move forward, we'll continue to embody the pioneering spirit and rigorous standards. That's always been a hallmark. And these are inspired by ASU's commitment to inclusivity and public value. Thunderbird will continue to empower leaders in every corner of the world, and our vision is to forge a network of innovative, resilient, culturally astute leaders who are equipped to tackle global challenges in our digitally interconnected, complex, and dynamic world. We want to leverage cutting-edge technology and research to deliver unparalleled educational experiences and to facilitate sustainable and equitable economic growth worldwide. We believe that these cross-sectoral Thunderbird leaders, uniquely equipped with the skills and the new thinking at the intersection of the global and digital, will be change agents driving innovation. As the new Director General and Dean of the Thunderbird School of Global Management at ASU, I'm committed to advancing Thunderbird's position in this highly competitive space. And this evening, I'd like to outline key design imperatives that I envision for Thunderbird, inspired by President Crow's speech, some of his speeches in the past, and aligned with the charter of ASU. And these design principles, I believe, will enable Thunderbird to become the leading global and digital management school in the world. First of all, Thunderbird must deepen and build community across all the programs we offer, across the stakeholders we serve, and for all who are part of our team. In this regard, as you've already heard, we're so excited to announce that our undergraduates will be united with our graduates here downtown at our headquarters. And I'm so grateful to President Crow and Provost Gonzales for making this opportunity to bolster our community to new heights and to create these new experiences. Secondly, our engagement with our alumni family has to be at the heart of what makes Thunderbird and our global student experience so special. We're fortunate to have alumni leaders and volunteers supporting our work all over the world, including chapter leaders and those serving in our Thunderbird Global Alumni Network Advisory Council. And I want to thank them for your incredible warm welcome and for your support as we work together. We're designing a new TGAN charter, and I look forward to meeting all of our alumni around the world over the next year, in Latin America, in Europe, Asia, in Africa, wherever our alumni are. And they are truly all over. We also look forward to welcoming our alumni back for the first Thunderbird Global Reunion in some time, which will be held in Phoenix next April 2025. Third design principle is that accelerating knowledge is foundational for transformational thinking. And starting in January, we have a new Deputy Dean of the Knowledge Enterprise, Professor Jonas Gamso, and he's going to help us focus on accelerating and strengthening our research. We have a new endowed chair for the Global Digital Mindset Institute, led by Professor Mansour Javadian, and thanks to the incredible generosity of the Najafis. Our case series, it will continue to increase in impact. Currently, it's 20th in the world, 7th in the US, and these cases bring to life discoveries that leaders around the world can use. We also have a patent pending for work this summer developing an AI bot that enhances international negotiations. And we will continue this good work of moving forward tools that help us make better decisions in this area. Fourth, Thunderbird must be a compelling force, not a location. We have aligned our regional centers and are embarking on a strategic branding of our hubs. We're also expanding our global executive education offerings, and we now have contracts in operation in Dubai, Saudi Arabia, Indonesia, and Egypt as we speak. And we are focused on developing leaders in emerging economies who will drive economic prosperity, international trade, and diplomacy. There is no greater example of this Then Thunderbird's Share Fellowship, which, with the generous support of our donors, particularly Marshall Park, has enabled 97 exceptional candidates over the last 15 years to pursue a Thunderbird education and change their communities and change the world. The fifth is that Thunderbird must be designed organizationally for effectiveness, and as such, we recently completed a significant reorganization along our business lines. And 6, students, the learner, have to be at the heart of who we are. Part of our organization is a new group called Innovation in the Learning Experience, in which we bring together our instructional designers and our incredible technology and our faculty so that we can continue to create unprecedented learning experiences, leveraging resources across ASU. We have an ambitious vision for a digital next-gen graduate center, which will bring together our global community of students, alumni, executive education clients, employers, and create a seamless path for those outcomes that we want. We want our graduates to be incredible achievers, both in terms of impact and throughout their communities. So we want to enable this. We'll continue to prioritize scholarships to remove financial barriers and enable access for our domestic and international undergraduate and graduate students. The 7th design feature is we have to continue to work collaboratively across ASU, and we have had significant success since July. We are pleased to announce a concurrent degree in partnership with the W.P. Carey School of Business that offers their Masters of Science in AI and along with our Masters of Global Management degree. So students can graduate with both degrees in just 2 years. We are also now working with groups at Fulton School of Engineering, such as Nate Johnson, some incredible work that they are doing, providing electrical power to small communities throughout Africa and Latin America. And we are able to leverage, their incredible talent in engineering coupled with our strengths in workforce development and our on-ground centers and assets. And we're also working with Global Futures Laboratory on a number of initiatives, which we're really excited about. And at Polytechnic and Health, we are now collaborating with our executive education programs. We are leaning in and engaging more. We know that we can accomplish more. That is the sum that we are working on. Impact is critical, as is how we measure it, and our global impact through the 100 Million Learners Initiative is a priority. And we will continue to advance this critical initiative that is possible through the generous support of the Najafi family. This is so important because it's an opportunity to educate people who need it the most in areas of entrepreneurship and innovation and instantiate engine of prosperity and change within communities, helping them to thrive. Our Dream Builder and Dream Catcher programs, under the leadership of Kelly Kreiser, continue to serve tribal communities here in Phoenix and women around the globe. These are the types of impacts that we want to have. I'm so excited our enrollment this fall has increased by 40% in our MGM program since 2023, and our goal is to continue to drive enrollment so that we can equip more leaders from around the world and here in Phoenix and across the U.S. We're also dedicated to fostering a vibrant campus life and community and looking at student outcomes, not just their larger outcomes, but also we are so excited to keep them in our family and help them grow in lifelong learning. And we're so excited about our retention rates here, which range between 88 to 96%, which is pretty exciting across our programs. And finally, we have to strive to ensure that every student has the tools and guidance needed to thrive. Our diverse student organizations, clubs, and events, I see our students up there, will provide opportunities for networking, leadership development, and community engagement, in addition to continued investment in student support and our career services and mentoring, as well as our flagship experiential programs like the Global Challenge Lab, or in our executive program in space leadership, they want to call it the Galactic Challenge Lab. They're doing projects with SpaceX and NASA. So this summer, we had the highest number of students with internships and the highest student employment postgraduate compared over the past 3 years. And our intention is to continue that trajectory and move forward. I'm dedicated to enhancing our research profile and solidifying our reputation as a thought leader at the intersection of global leadership and technological innovation. And to achieve this, we have to focus on several strategic initiatives. And first, we'll introduce new research streams, incorporating global digital innovation, such as artificial intelligence and negotiations and international trade, thinking about diplomacy, and thinking about diplomacy not only here on the ground in the traditional sense, but also in our oceans, and what this means as we continue to develop businesses in space. And we're also want to focus on global sustainability and energy systems. These initiatives provide our students with the skills and the knowledge necessary to lead and to create, which is really important to us. Furthermore, we want research that is applied. And we know that it's the diverse perspectives, the cultural and linguistic frameworks that Thunderbird uniquely can bring to the table that enable our leaders to be unique and to step into the world in different ways. These diverse perspectives are crucial for effective leadership, and we will continue to foster interdisciplinary research collaboration across the university and here and around the world so that we can continue to develop groundbreaking insights and solutions to global challenges. By integrating these initiatives into our strategic playbook, Thunderbird will not only enhance its global profile, but also ensure that our graduates are equipped to lead with vision, with agility, and in a rapidly evolving global landscape. We aim to create an environment that nurtures the potential of every student, and Thunderbird is as critical now as it was when it was first founded, just as President Crow mentioned. Today, we are called to also accelerate Thunderbird's legacy of global impact. We're at a pivotal point in history where the challenges we face, whether they're economic, environmental, or social, demand a new kind of leadership. Leaders are not just well-versed in their industry, but who are actually equipped to create new industries and redefine the systems we live and work in. Leaders who can harness the power of technology to drive sustainable prosperity. At Thunderbird, we're uniquely positioned to lead this charge, and we've made some significant strides already since July. I've already touched on the impact that philanthropy is making on Thunderbird, and we only need to look around this magnificent building to see the power that this can have. We have the opportunity to catalyze incredible impact in partnership with our donors, providing the fuel to drive the ambitious next stage of Thunderbird's development. Our philanthropic priorities touch on every aspect of our strengths in today's world, including global diplomacy and trade, women's leadership, emerging economies, technology and innovation. And whether this is through scholarships or seeding new programs and initiatives, the impact we can have with the support of our donors is boundless. And this impact will be felt around the world for generations. This is a strategic vision for Thunderbird, one that builds on the past while boldly going into the future, and it embraces the complexities of the world we live in. I want to seek to turn those complexities into opportunities for growth and for innovation. At Thunderbird, our commitment to equipping global leaders is not just a mission statement, it really is a call to action. But we can't do this alone, and I ask each of you to join me in this endeavor. Together, we can redefine what it means to be a global leader in the 21st century, and together, we can build a Thunderbird that not only meets the challenges of our time, but shapes the future for generations to come. So thank you for this honor. Thank you for your generous support.
Thank you so much, Dean Griffy-Brown. At this time, Thunderbird volunteers will begin passing out champagne to toast in unison. And we also welcome you to grab a non-alcoholic version if you wish.
So everyone, cheers. Thank you for believing in Thunderbird, for embarking on this next journey with us, and thank you for joining us tonight. We invite everyone to join us in the restaurant and pub on the 5th floor. Have a wonderful evening. Cheers.